let's look at what it looks like with blocks to subtract across zeros. So say I have the number 1,000 minus 257. Well, what that's gonna look like is I'm going to have 1 thousands cube. And I have to take 257 out of this. So I have thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Now I always have to start with the ones. Do I have 7 ones cubes to take away here, class?
No.
No. So I have to make at least 10 so that I can get 7 out of it. Normally I would take from the tens place, but do I have anything in the tens place to take away to regroup so that I have ones? Class?
No.
No. So then if I don't have anything in the tens, I would go to the hundreds. But do I have anything in the hundreds to regroup, class?
No.
No. So I'm going to go to the thousands. Do I have something in the thousands to regroup?
Yes.
Yes. So what I have to do is I have to take one of those thousands. How many do I have left? How many thousands do I have left? Carla?
We have 0.
I have 0. But I can't just make it disappear. I have to turn it into hundreds. Well, how many hundreds? How many hundreds flats are in 1 thousands cubes? Thousands cube, Carla. How many of these hundreds flats are in 1 thousands cube?
10.
10. It's always 10. There's always 10 of the smaller place value in one of the larger. So there's 10. So that means now, I get to give 10 hundredths flats to the hundredths place. So Carla, how many hundredths do I have now?
You have 10 hundredths.
Now I have 10 hundredths. But did that help me take 7 ones cubes? Carla?
No.
No. So now I still can't take anything from the tens, but now I can take something from the hundredths. So I'm going to take 1 hundredths flat. And how many hundredths flats do I have left? Zadie?
9.
9. But it can't just disappear. I have to turn the 1 hundredths flat into 10 rods. How many 10 rods are in this 100 flat, Zadie?
10.
10. Because there's always 10 of the smaller place in one of the larger places. So I'm turning that 1 hundredths flat into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Zadie, how many 10 rods do I have now?
10.
10. But can I take 7 ones cubes yet?
No.
No, I still can't take 7 ones cubes. But now there's something in the tens place that I can take away. So I'm going to take away 1 10 rod. How many 10 rods do I have left? Cullen?
9.
9. Now it doesn't just disappear. That 1 10 rod has to be regrouped or turn into how many ones cubes? Cullen?
10.
How many ones cubes are in 1 10 rod?
10.
10, because how many of the smaller place are there in each of the larger places?
10.
10, always. So now I have to turn that 1 10 rod into 10 ones. Girls at home, make sure you're muted. So now, Cullen, how many ones cubes do I have?
10.
10. Now, am I able to take away 7 ones cubes?
Yes.
Yes. If I take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how many ones cubes do I have left? Aaron, 3. Now, if I go to the tens place, can I take 5 10 rods away? Victoria, do I have 5 10 rods to take away?
Yes.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many 10 rods do I have left, Victoria? 4. Now if I go to the hundredths, do I have 200 flats to take away? Looking for somebody who has not answered yet. Aaron, did you answer yet? Somebody who's not answered yet. I'm just going to call you if you don't volunteer. Michaela, do I have 200 flats to take away? Yes. 1, 2. How many do I have left now? Huh? 7? Correct. Now, do I have anything to take away in the thousands place? No, which is good because is there anything for me to take? If I start with 0 thousands cubes and I take nothing away, what do I have? 0, nothing. But do I have to put a 0 at the beginning? No. So now 1,000 minus 257, once we did all that regrouping, we have 7 hundredths, 4 tens, and 3 ones to make 743. Let's do one more, like that. Because this is what, even though you won't have base 10 blocks when you do this, if you can visualize doing this, that will help. So let's do one more problem. Because in that problem, we just made 10 every time. Sometimes we won't be making 10. Let's see. Make that a little bigger. $2,000. Let's do. No, I want. $2,103 minus 857. So first I need to model 2,103. So I'm going to have, tell me how to do it actually. How do I model 2,103? Let's see, Carla, you did already get to answer. So let's see, somebody who has not answered a question this morning. How do I model 2,103? I'm just going to pick people. Kingston, how do I model 2,103 using base 10 blocks? First, how many thousands cubes do I need? 2 thousands cubes. 1. Oops, that one looks horrible. That one. 2. Okay? How many hundredths? 100 flat. How many tens? None. And how many ones cubes? 3. 1. Oops, I can't be the same size. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I need to take away 857. So I start with the ones. Can I take 7 ones cubes from here? No. So normally I'd move to the tens place, but do I have anything here to give to this place? No, I don't. Oh, I messed up. So we are going to do 2,403. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sorry I changed it. 2,403 because I want to show something. Okay, so I don't have anything in the tens place that I can regroup, right? So I need to move to the, louder Kingston, Hundreds. How many do I take away? 1. So how many hundreds do I have left? 3. Now can I take that and give it to the ones place? No, I have to turn that 1/100th flat that I took away into how many 10 rods? 10, because there are 10 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in 1/100th flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But still, can I take 7 ones cubes from here, from the ones place? No, I still can't. So that means I need to move, but do I have something in the tens place to take away now? Loudly, Kingston. Yes. How many can I take away? 1. How many 10 rods do I have left? Oops. Gosh, I forgot a step. Sorry. So I just turned my hundredths flat into 10 10 rods. How many do I have left? How many 10 rods do I have now, Kingston? 10. Now, it still doesn't help me here, so I have to take how many 10 rods? And I have to turn it into how many ones cubes? Well, I took my 1 10 rod and I turn it into how many ones cubes? 10, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones cubes in 1 10 rod. So now I need to add 10 extra ones cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now do I have 10 ones cubes? Do I have 10 ones cubes here? And that's it. No. How many do I have? 13. Because I didn't just make 10 ones cubes, because I already had 3. I added 10 ones cubes, but I had to include those 3 that were already there. So I have 13 ones cubes. Now, can I take 7 ones cubes away from this ones place? Yes. I'm going to erase 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many do I have left, Kingston? 6. Now if I move to the tens place, I have 9 10 rods and I want to take away 5. Can I do that? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many 10 rods do I have left? 4. Now I move to the hundredths place. I have 3 hundredths flats, but I need to take away to 8. Can I do that? Loudly, Kingston. No, I can't. So that means I need to move to the thousands place. Do I have something to regroup here? Yes, I'm going to take 1 thousands cube. So how many thousands cubes do I have left, Kingston? 1. And then what do I do with that 1 thousandths cube? Does it just disappear? No, what happens to it? It turns into how many hundredths flats? 10. So that means I'm going to add 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. How many hundredths flats do I have now? I don't have 10. I just added 10. But I have to include what I had before. So how many hundredths flats do I have now? How many? How many? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Because I started with 3, but then I gave it 10, so now I have 13. It sounded like, you got to be louder because it sounded like you were saying 18. That's why. Do you understand that? The whole time it sounded like you were saying 18. So now, do I have 8 to take away here? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now how many do I have left? Are you sure? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in the thousands place, I have 1. I'm taking nothing away, so how many thousands do I end up with? I can't hear you. 1. Then I bring down my comma, because it always lines up, in addition and subtraction. So I have 1,000, 5 hundredths flats, 4 tens, and 6 ones. If I put them all together, I get what number? Kingston, loudly. 1,546. So I hope you were paying attention, because if you can visualize this in your head as we're doing these problems, it will help you a lot. There is, when you have a 0 in a place, that means there is nothing. If you have base 10 blocks, there's nothing you can take away. So you have to make something. You have to put something there. So let's look at number 9. Help me out. Let's see, that's me. Victoria. I have $52,006 minus $13,055. What place do I start in? The ones. I have 6 minus 5. If I have 6 ones cubes, can I erase 5? Yes. How many would I end up with?
1.
Because 6 minus 5 is 1. Now, I move to what place? The tens place. I have 0 minus 5. If I have 0 tens, can I take 5 tens away? No. So I have to move to the hundredths place. Do I have any blocks to take away there? Nope. So I have to move to the... Do I have any blocks to take away there? Yes. So I'm going to take 1 away. I'm going to take 1,000 away, which means I have how many thousands left? 1. Now, can I give that to the ones place? No, I have to turn that thousands cube into how many hundredths flats? 10. So if I add 10 hundredths flats to 0 hundredths flats, how many hundredths flats do I have? 10. But do I have any tens to take away yet? No. So now I have to move to the hundredths place. Do I have any hundredths flats to take away? Yes. So if I take 100 away, how many do I have left? 9. And then I have to turn that 100 flat into how many 10 rods? 10. I started with 0 10 rods. I add 10 10 rods. I have how many 10 rods? 10. Now can I solve in the tens? Can I take 5 10 rods out of 10 10 rods? How many do I end up with? 5. Because 10 minus 5 is 5. Now I move to what place? I subtract the hundredths. I have 9 hundredths flats. I'm trying to take 0 away. How many do I end up with? 9. I bring down my comma because it always lines up. Now I subtract what place? The thousands. I have 1,000s cubed. Can I take 3 away? No. So I have to move to... Do I have anything in the 10,000s to take away? Yes. If I take 1 10,000 away, I end up with how many 10,000s? 4. Now, I give it to the thousands place. How many thousands are in 1 10,000? Always the same. 10. I have 1 10,000. I add 10 more. I have 1,000 cubed. If I add 10 more, how many do I end up with? 11. Now, I have 11,000 cubes. Can I erase 3 of those? Yes. How many do I end up with? You can use your fingers. It's just subtracting. If I have 11 thousandths cubes and I erase 3 of them, I'm saying 11 minus 3 is 8. I just subtracted the thousands. Now I subtract the... I have 4. I erase 1. How many do I have left?
3.
Because 4 minus 1 is...
3.
Bring down our dollar sign. 52,006 minus 13,055 is...
38,951.
Good. Everybody should have been doing that with me. Sorry, can you please lower your camera so that I can see you and what you're working on? Okay. Good. Now number 10 we're done with. So what you need to do is you need to imagine those blocks. Does everybody see how imagining those blocks and imagining, do I have any objects to take away in this place, kind of helps? Every time we regroup, I'm going to say this again until it is stuck in your heads, you will never forget it. Every single time we regroup, we take one of the larger blocks and turn it into 10 of the smaller blocks. Every single time. We take one of the larger blocks and turn it into 10 of the smaller blocks. But you have to remember, if there were already some of those smaller blocks, you're adding 10 to it. You're not just changing it to 10. Because you can't just get rid of those 3 hundredths flats that were already there. You have to add the 10 to it. Okay, number 11, because we did number 10. So everybody erase number 11. I forgot to say that for number 9, and I could tell I think only one person erased it and redid it, even though that's what you were supposed to do.
Miss Rose, we didn't finish number 10 because we had to go to art.
Okay, well, if we have time, we'll come back to it. Okay, so number 11, 508,200 minus 136,118. Aaron, you're going to help me out. When we're subtracting, what place do we start at? What is step 1? Subtract the ones. I have 0 ones cubes. Can I take 8 away? No. So normally I would move to the 10s, but do I have anything in the 10s to regroup? So I need to move to the hundredths. Do I have something in the hundredths to regroup?
Yes.
Yes, I have how many hundredths?
2.
How many am I going to take away? 1. So if I had 2 hundredths and I take 1 away, now I have 100. Now do I give it to the ones place?
Yes.
Can I skip places?
No.
So do I give it to the ones place?
No.
Why? Because what do I have to do with it?
You have to give it to the 10s.
I have to give it to the 10s. How many 10s, how many 10 rods are in this 100?
10.
Always. There's always 10 of the smaller block in one of the larger blocks. So I have 0 10 rods, I add 10, and I get how many 10 rods?
10.
But I still don't have any ones cubes to take away. So what do I do now?
You take away 1.
I take away one what?
10.
I take away 1 10. So if I take 1 away, how many 10s do I have left?
9.
And do I just give 1 to the ones place? Do I take this 1 10 rod and turn it into 1 ones cubes?
No.
How many do I turn it into?
10.
Always. So if I have 0 ones cubes and I add 10 more, how many ones cubes do I have?
10.
10. Now, can I erase 8 ones cubes?
Yes.
Yes. If I take 10 ones cubes and I erase 8, how many do I have left?
2.
2, because 10 minus 8 is
2.
good. Now step 2, we subtract the,
10.
so look at your steps because it'll tell you. Step 2 is subtract the, subtract the 10s. I have 9 10s. Can I get rid of 1?
Yes.
Yes, because 9 minus 1 is
8.
good. Step 3,
Subtract the hundreds.
I have 100. Can I get rid of 1?
Yes.
How many do I end up with? Because 1 minus 1 is, I bring down my comma because in addition and subtraction, the comma, if I bring down my comma, why am I bringing down my comma? Because in addition and subtraction, what is always true? Who can help her out? Colin?
They always line up.
What always lines up?
The comma.
The commas. In addition and subtraction, the commas always line up. Otherwise, you have done something wrong. So if you are subtracting or adding and your commas do not line up, go back and check. Okay, Aaron. Step 4.
Subtract 1,000.
I have 8 thousands. Can I get rid of 6 of those?
Yes.
Yes, because 8 minus 6 is
2.
2. Step 5.
Subtract 10,000.
I have 0. Can I get rid of 3?
No.
No. So I need to move to what place?
100,000.
The 100,000s. How many am I going to take away? How many 100,000s am I going to take away? 1. So how many do I have left? 4. Now, we don't have blocks to show this, but we know because of patterns and how it is in math, how many 10,000s are in 100,000? 10, always, because there is always 10 of the smaller block in one of the larger blocks, even though we don't have a 100,000s block or a 10,000s block to show. I don't even really know what that would look like. It would just look like a larger and larger cube, but that wouldn't be super helpful. So I took 100,000 and I turned it into how many 10,000s? 10, always. I started with 0, I add 10 more. How many do I have? 10. Now, can I take away 3 from 10,000s? Yes. How many do I have left?
7.
Because 10 minus 3 is 7. Good. Now, step 6, which we don't have in our math book, but we know has to be what? We don't have step 6, but because of how patterns work, can we skip places?
No.
So what's step 6? Subtract the 100,000s. Good. We have 4. Can I take 1 away?
Yes.
How many would I have left?
3.
Because 4 minus 1 is,
3.
so that means 5,800 minus 136,000. Oh, wait, I said it wrong. 508,200 minus 136,118 is, you have it in your book. So you don't have to struggle to see this one.
300.
That's right, but keep going. You have it in your book though. You should. You should have been doing it while we were doing it. I know, but you have to write it as you say it. You have to be able to do 2 things at once. You're 4th grade now. This is what all of you have to do. You have to be able to do 2 things at once. Help, listen, and write. That's just how it is. Michaela, can you help her out? Loudly so we can hear you, otherwise I have to call somebody else.
372,082.
Good. 372,082. So you have to be writing with us, because if you're just going back and copying, are you thinking about the steps as you copy, or are you just trying to write it down as fast as possible? Zadie?
Just trying to write it down as fast as
Exactly. But if you're doing it with us, then you're listening and you know why you're doing it. Okay, good. Number 12. The directions say subtract, use addition or estimation to check, use the place value chart to set up the problem. Well, this basically does this for us, just with numbers, not blocks. We're not going to check because we don't have time, but let's see. Smith's not here. Zari, you're going to help. Okay, so we have 900,000 minus 31,650. So first we need to put it in our place value chart. We're going to start with 900,000 because it's the bigger number and it comes first. So if it was addition, we'd start with it because it comes first. In subtraction, we're starting with it because it comes first, but also because the larger number has to come first. So we have a 9 in the 100,000s place, and the rest of the digits are just zeros. Now, Zari, my second number is 31,650. Am I going to start writing it in the 100,000s place?
No.
No, because the first digit is in what place, Zari?
Yes.
And
We
the 10,000s.
In the 10,000s. So we're going to put that 3 in the 10,000s, that 1 in the thousands, that 6 in the hundreds, that 5 in the tens, and that 0 in the ones. Now we're ready to subtract. So, Zari, what place do I start in?
That's another reason why I get it.
Every time I subtract, what place do I start in, Zari?
Go share the KPMG, but then the people I get
What?
information from, I get them in early.
I can't hear you.
Okay, Zari, every time I subtract, I start in what place?
The ones.
The ones. I have 0 ones, I need to take away 0. Can I do that?
It's one of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
0.
One of those
It's
where
just 0. If I have 0 ones cubes and I erase 0, well, I still have 0 ones cubes. Now I can write that because it's at the end of the number. I only skip it if it's at the beginning. If it's in the middle or the end, I have to write it because otherwise I'd be skipping places. Can I ever skip places ever in a million years, class?
No.
No, never, ever, ever. Okay, Zari, now step 2. We subtract the
10s.
tens. I have 0 tens. Can I take 5 away?
No.
No, hold on, let me let Smith in. Just give me a second. So Zari, you can be working it out in your head so you know what's coming while we get Smith situated. Hey, Smith.
Hi.
We're doing, so Zari, you should be kind of working it through so you know what to say next while Smith gets ready. Okay, Smith, so we are doing math right now. We're just finishing checking the independent practice from Thursday. Okay. Zari, you have to mute yourself. Okay. Smith, can you hear me now? Okay, it was because, Zari, the reason she couldn't hear was because there was sound there and it just kind of Zoom picks the loudest sound. So if your sound is louder than
I was
mine,
having trouble listening to you also. That's why I was like,
it's probably because, you know what, because you're technically louder in the moment. Okay. So we'll have to figure that out. I think that's you know what, now that I realize this, I think that's been the problem the whole time. So, Smith, go ahead and get out your math book and look at page 101. We're on number 12. So, Zari, I think it's because with your mom talking, it's picking yours. So, but we have to figure that out. Is she still talking right now, or do you just need to listen?
she's still talking now, but
Okay.
I think she's on the, off the phone.
Okay, so I'll pick you for a later one, okay? Now I realize what the problem is. It's because, so it's picking hers to be, so Zari, don't worry about this. We'll get somebody else, okay? Okay, so I need somebody else. Colin. Let's start from the beginning. So Smith, we're on number 12. We already wrote the chart to set up our problem. Now, I want you to watch this video later, Smith, because there's some really good practice at the beginning where we actually look at what all of this looks like, okay?
Okay,
So-
yeah, my dad wanted me to watch.
Okay, Cullen. So we have 0 ones cubes. Can we take 0 ones cubes away?
Yes.
Yes, because if we have 0 and I erase 0, we still have 0. Like I said earlier, we are going to write a 0 if it's in the middle or the end of our number, just not at the beginning. Because, I'm going to say this again, can we ever in a million years skip places? Class?
No.
No. Now, Cullen, step 2 is subtract the
10.
tens. I have 0 10 rods. Can I take 5 away?
No.
So I need to look at the hundreds to see if there's anything I can regroup. Is there anything I can regroup?
No.
No. So I need to move to the ones to see, to the 1000s. I got confused. Is there anything for me to regroup here?
No.
No. What about the 10,000s?
No.
Nope. 100,000s?
Yes.
Yes. I can take, how many of those 100,000s can I take?
1.
1. Always 1. I would never take more than 1 away. I might have to go back and take another, but I would never take more than 1 at one time. So that 900,000s becomes, if I take 100,000 away, how many do I have left?
8.
8. Now, can I go ahead and move it all the way to the ones place?
No.
Absolutely not. So I have to take that 100,000 and turn it into how many 10,000s?
10.
10, because it's always the same. I always turn one of the larger places into 10 of the smaller places, no matter what. It is 100% always, always, always going to happen. Math is one of the only things where there are absolutes. That means it will happen no matter what, no exceptions. Anytime we take one of a larger place value and turn it into a smaller place value, it will always be 10. Always. Now, sometimes you do have to add to what you already had, but you're still taking that 100,000s block, we'll imagine it, and turning it into 10 of the 10,000s blocks. Sometimes you have to add the 10 to what's already there, but in this case, there was nothing there, so we only have 10. Now, Cullen, does that help us take 5 10 rods away?
No.
No. So now, what do we have to do?
We have to,
Don't tell me cross out and put whatever. What am I doing? I have to take
we have to take 1 away
from the
10,000s.
from the 10,000. So if I take 1 10,000, how many do I have left?
9.
9. And then what do I have to do with that 1 10,000? I have to turn it into
Turn it into 10. No, 1,000s.
I have to turn it into 10 1,000s. 0 plus 10 is
10.
can I take 5 10 rods away?
No.
No. So now I have to
We have to,
this is I know you know what to do, but you have to put your thinking into words. That's what's going to help you think later, is if you can put your thinking into words, then you're going to be able to do it later too. So I take,
1 away from the 10.
don't tell me take 1 away from the 10. That could mean I don't have anyone. I don't have 1 to take away from the 10. So I have to take 1 away from the,
The thousands place.
so if I take 1,000 out of 10, how many do I have left?
9.
And what do I do with that 1,000? I regroup it, or I turn it into
100.
10 hundredths. Can I take 5 10 rods away?
No.
No. So now I have to,
Take 1 away from the hundreds.
so I had 10, now I have,
9.
and what do I do with that 100? It doesn't disappear. What happens to it?
We put it in the tens.
So what does that mean?
It turns into a 10.
Just 1? I take that 100 and I turn it into, or regroup it into,
10.
how many?
10.
10? Like that?
The tens place.
So, like that?
No.
I take that 100 and I turn it into
10 tens.
10 tens. Now, can I take 5 10 rods away?
Yes.
Yes, because 10 minus 5 is
5.
step 3.
Subtract the hundreds.
I have 9. I want to take away 6. Can I do that?
Yes.
9 minus 6 is,
3.
I bring down my comma because it's always going to line up in addition and subtraction. And then step 4,
Subtract the
I hope
thousands.
everybody had erased this and is writing with us. I hope everybody had erased number 12 and is writing with us, because I see a lot of people not writing. Now, step 4 is what? I'm sorry, Cullen.
Subtract the thousand.
I have 9. Can I take 1 away?
Yes.
9 minus 1 is
8.
step 5.
Subtract the 10,000.
I have 9. Can I take 3 away?
Yes.
How many is it? 9 minus 3 is
7.
9 minus 3 is
6.
step 6, which is not in our book, but we know because of patterns in math, it has to be what? Subtract the
100,000.
100,000s. We have 8. Can we take none away?
Yes.
Yes. If I have 8 and I take none away, 8 minus nothing is,
8.
so that means 900,000 minus 31,650 is
868,350.
Very good. Okay. Is everybody with me? Does everybody understand? Because now we're moving on to the word problems. Okay. Helper number 1. Please sanitize, erase. Let's look at number 13 and 14. It says, for exercises 13 and 14, hint, keep this in your brain. Anytime you're working in this math book and you see exercise number and number, or exercise number, that means the problem. They say exercise instead of problem, because what are you doing whenever you're doing these problems? You're exercising what, Michaela? Your brain. But it means the same thing as problems 13 and 14. So don't be confused by the word exercise. It just means go to that number, and that's what they're talking about. So for exercises 13 and 14, use the table which shows the distance between New York City and 5 other cities around the world. So we know that this is the number of miles from New York City to each of these cities. So New York City is 10,053 miles from Jakarta, Indonesia. New York City is 3,471 miles from London, England. New York City is 2,086 miles from Mexico City, Mexico. That's interesting. I would have thought London was, oh, just kidding. I would have thought London was a lot further than Mexico City, but it's not that much. Okay? New York City is 4,042 miles from Munich, Germany. And New York City is 3,635 miles from Paris, France. So we're going to use that table to solve the problem. Number 13 says, how many more miles is it to travel to Jakarta than London? Well, we know how many more means what? What are we doing if we see how many more? Zari?
Subtracting.
Subtracting. All right, sub, because you know that means subtraction. Now, our unit always comes after how many, how much, whatever. So what's our unit in this problem? Zadie?
Miles.
Miles. So now we know we're trying to figure out how many more miles is it to travel to Jakarta than London. So we're going to go over here and find our units. Well, Jakarta, we see, has to be 10,053 miles. London, if we go to the table, has to be 3,471. We already know we're finding subtraction, because how many more, how many less, how much more, how much less, how whatever, still needed, whatever, always means subtraction. So we have to set this problem up. How are we going to set this problem up on the line? We're writing our equation. What has to come first? Smith. We already know our two numbers. We know we're doing our subtraction. We know our unit. So in subtraction, which number always has to come first, Smith?
The larger number.
Which in this case is what? Is it 10,053 or 3,471?
10,053.
10,000. Oops. So we're writing our equation on the line because that's always our first step. I'm telling you, with word problems, the hardest part is figuring out the equation. Once you've figured out the equation, it's just regular math. So as long as you're looking at these questions and you're looking for words that tell you to subtract or words that tell you to add, and your unit, which means your unit will tell you which numbers you're looking for, as long as you're reading the problem and looking for those things, it is really easy to set up the equation, which is typically the hardest part, figuring out what your information is and what to do with it. So look at the problems. Look for the words that tell you what operation to do. Look for the words that tell you what numbers you're looking for. Once you figure that out, it's just putting the numbers down in the correct order, which only matters in subtraction and division. It doesn't matter in addition or multiplication. So Smith, we've got 10,053. We know we're subtracting, and we know our other number is 3,471. Now we just have to solve. Are we going to solve sideways like this, Smith?
No.
No. So we're going to go to the side and we're going to set it up. Remember, in order to line my places up correctly, I'm going to go ahead and write my first number. 10,000. Let me write it a little bigger. Oh, I keep skipping that. 10,000. 53. Now I'm going to write my second number backwards so I can make sure that I line up the places. I'm going to line up the 1 with the ones place, the 7 with the tens place, the 4 with the hundreds place, my comma with the comma, and my 3 with the thousands. Now I can subtract. So Smith, help me out. I think it's usually pretty quiet where you are, so go ahead and leave yourself off of mute.
Okay.
And if I have 3 ones, can I take 1 away?
Yes.
3 minus 1 is
2.
Step 2, subtract the,
Tens.
if I have 5 ones, 5 tens, can I take 7 away?
No.
No, so I have to move to the hundreds. Do I have anything to regroup there?
No.
So I have to move to the thousands. Do I have anything to regroup there?
No.
So I move to the 10,000s. Do I have anything to regroup there?
Yes.
Yes, so I take how many of the 10,000s?
1.
1. How many do I have left?
0.
And I turn it into, or regroup it into how many thousands?
10,000.
10. I had 0. If I add 10 more, how many do I have?
10.
Does that help me solve? Does that help me take 7 tens away from 5?
No.
No. So now I still don't have anything in the hundreds, but do I have something in the thousands to regroup now?
Yes.
Yes. How many thousands do I take away?
1.
So I have how many left?
9.
And I regroup it or turn it into how many hundreds?
10 hundreds.
10. I have 0 hundredths. If I add 10 more, how many do I have?
10.
Does that help me take 7 tens away from 5?
Yes.
Does it? Does
No.
that help me take 7 tens away from 5?
Because we haven't regrouped the 10 over to the 5.
So, but now I have something, so I still can't take 7 tens away from 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm right. So, but now do I have something in the hundreds that I can regroup?
Yes.
So how many hundredths do I take away?
1.
So I have how many left?
9.
And I regroup it or turn it into how many tens?
15 tens.
I take 1. Can I ever take 100 and turn it into 15 tens?
No.
No. So I take my 100 flat and I turn it into how many tens?
10.
But I already had 5, so I have to add my 10 new ones to my 5 old ones to get how many?
15.
15. Now, can I take 7 10 rods away from 15?
Yes.
Yes. So 15 minus 7 is, feel free to use your
8.
fingers. What is it?
8.
8. Now step 3, subtract the,
Hundreds.
I have 9. Can I take 4 away?
Yes.
How many do 9 minus 4 is?
5.
I bring down our comma because they always line up in addition and subtraction. And step 4 is
Subtract the thousands.
9 minus 3 is, I have 9. Can I take 3 away?
Yes.
9 minus 3 is?
6.
Step 5, subtract the,
Subtract the 10,000s.
0 minus nothing is?
0.
Do I put 0 at the beginning of the number?
No.
No. So that means 10,053 miles minus 3,471 miles is what, Smith?
6,582.
6,582
Miles.
what? Miles. Good. So does everybody see? We're not going to have time to do the rest. We might come back and do, we might do 14 and 15 after Spanish. In fact, that's probably what we'll do. Because I really especially want to look at 15. Because that's a multi-step problem. And that's our whole next lesson after the Check My Progress is all multi-step problems. Which you may look at and be like, this is the face I'm making. But once you know how to read the problem, it's not hard. Just like these. Once you know how to read the problem, it is not hard to make the equations. Okay? You just have to know how do you read the problem. Okay. Very good. So we will get back to that After Spanish, probably. If not, it'll be part of your homework. Number 14 and 15 to do it correctly. So go ahead and put your math away for right now. We will come back to that. Ow. So we are looking at number 14. We just did number 13, so we're doing the same thing. We still know how many more tells us we are subtracting. Miles tells us the units. And then how many more miles is it to travel to Munich, then to Paris? So that means we need to go up to this chart, this table, and figure out, okay, which number represents the number of miles to Munich and which number represents the number of miles to Paris. So if we look, we see that Munich is 4,042 miles away and Paris is 3,635. Well, now we have everything we need. We just have to set it up. We know we're doing subtraction. Victoria, you're going to help me with this. So we need to put one of these numbers first. Which number are we going to put first?
4,042.
Why are we putting 4,042 first?
Because it's greater than 3,635.
And in subtraction, what has to happen?
We subtract it. Well, we have to put the bigger number first.
There you go. Yes. And so that means second is 3,635. And we just have to solve. So can we solve it this way, sideways like this? No. Nope. So let's go to the side and rewrite the problem up and down. 4,042 minus 3,635 in order to make sure I line up my places correctly. I'm going to go ahead and start with the ones place, the 3 in the tens place, the 6 in the hundredths place, line my commas up, and the 3 in the thousands place. Now, Victoria, all I have to do is follow my steps. Step 1.
Subtract the 1.
2 minus 5. If I have 2 ones cubes, can I take 5 away? Nope, so I have to move to what place? The tens. Do I have something to regroup in the tens place? Yes, I can take how many tens?
1,
So I have how many left?
3,
And I can regroup them or turn them into how many ones?
10,
10. Well, I already had 2, so 2 plus 10 is
12.
12. Now, if I have 12 ones, can I take away 5?
Yes.
Yes, 12 minus 5 is 7. Now step 2.
Subtract the 10s.
Subtract the tens. I have 3 in the tens place. Can I take 3 10 rods away?
Yes.
Yes, because 3 minus 3 is
0.
0. Now step 3.
Subtract the hundreds.
I subtract the hundredths. I have 0 hundredths. Can I take 6 hundredths away? No. So I have to move to what place?
Thousands.
And check if I can regroup. Do I have anything to regroup in the thousands place?
Yes.
Yes, I have 4 thousands. If I take 1 away, how many do I have left? 3. And I'm going to take that 1,000 I took away and regroup it or turn it into how many hundredths? 10. I started with 0. I'm adding 10. 10 plus 0 is?
10.
Now can I subtract the hundredths?
Yes.
Yes. 10 minus 6 is?
4.
Bring down my comma. Because why?
Because you have to line it up.
In what 2 operations? Who can help her out? What 2 operations does the comma always line up? Michaela? Addition and subtraction. Now, step 4.
Subtract the thousand.
I have 3 thousandths. Can I take 3 away?
Yes.
Yes. 3 minus 3 is?
0, but we don't need a right.
We don't need that. That means we also don't need what?
Comma.
The comma. So that means 4,042 miles minus 3,635 miles is
400.
407 miles. So every single word problem, that includes homework, rest of independent practice, whatever, needs 1 part, 2 parts, well, really, this is the second part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. Does everybody see the 4 parts that all word problems need? Sometimes they need more, depending on what type of word problem it is, but in this case, 4. Equation, showing work, answer, units. Okay, number 15. I'm going to do this by myself, but you are going to listen and follow along. So everybody erase number 15, because this is a multi-step problem. You will see a lot of these. Our whole next lesson after the Check My Progress is on multi-step problems. So, once you're erased, go ahead and look up. We have a little over 5 minutes, so we have plenty of time to finish this problem because we've already done number 16 and 17. Okay, number 15, we're going to read it once without only finding the question. Trent earned 3,073 and 1,932 points in 2 rounds of a video game. He earned 2,375 fewer points than his brother. How many points did his brother earn? Write a number sentence to support your reasoning. So there's 2 parts to this answer. One part we're already supposed to be doing. But you'll definitely would have lost points now because I'm not taking off points for missing the equation until we start on chapter 3. But you would lose points for this because the question tells you write an equation. Because we have the first part of the question, how many points did his brother earn? And the second part of the question, write a number sentence to support your reasoning. A number sentence and an equation are the same things. So, we're trying to figure out how many points his brother earned. Are we trying to figure out how many points Trent earned? Is that going to be our final answer? No. Our final answer will be how many points his brother earned. But, does this question tell us exactly in one number how many points Trent earned? No. Because it says Trent earned 3,073 and 1,930 points in 2 rounds of a video game. That means to figure out how many points Trent earned, we need to take these 2 numbers and add them. That will tell us the total number of points. So that is step 1. I'm writing this, so you should be writing this. Step 1 is to add to find out Trent's total number of points. So we're going to go to the side, and we're going to find these 2 numbers. We are not subtracting these. A lot of you just said 3,073 minus 1,932 equals blank. Is that going to tell us how many points his brother earned? Did it say Trent earned 3,073 points? His brother earned 1,932 less. No. It says Trent earned 3,073 and 1,932 in 2 rounds of a video game. So to figure out how many he had overall, we have to add them together. So 3,073 plus 1,932. So now we're going to add. We always start in the ones place. Class, 3 plus 2.
5.
Wow, Cullen, I didn't know you were the only one here today. Now we add the 10s. 7 plus 3 is
10.
4.
Zari.
10.
We're adding. Please focus. 7 plus 3 is what, class?
10.
10.
Well, we have to regroup that 1 in the tens place to the hundredths place. Now, step 3, add the hundredths. We're going to start with what we had originally. 0 plus 9 is what, class?
9.
9.
Then we add the regroup number to get
10.
10.
to do the same thing. We have to regroup the 1 to the thousands place. Step 4, add the thousands. Start with what we already had. 3 plus 1, class?
4.
4,
Plus 1.
5.
5.
So that means, is this the final answer to our question?
No.
No.
Oh.
This is Trent. This is how many points Trent had. Trent has, so we can replace this whole part, 3,073 and 1,932 points, by saying Trent earned 5,005 points in 2 rounds of a video game. Now the second part says he earned 2,375 fewer points, so that whole thing is important, than his brother. So that means he earned 2,375 less than his brother. So who earned more, Trent or his brother? His brother. So, what we have to do is now we know that this number is 2,375 less than his brother's. So that means his brother's points minus 2,375 equals Trent's points. But is it going to be easier to do this? Something that we don't know for his brother's points minus 2,375 equals 5,005 points. Is that going to be easy to solve? No, but think about how do we check to make sure that subtraction is correct with addition? Victoria?
We do an equation.
How do we check subtraction with addition? Zadie?
Estimation.
How do we check subtraction with addition? Colin?
Addition.
How? I already said the word. You cannot give me an answer by saying a word that's in the question. Kingston? So what do you start with when you check subtraction with addition? What do you start with? The difference, which in this case is 5,005. And then we add what part of the question? I'm sorry, we add what part of the subtraction sentence? The subtrahend, the second. And then what should we get if we are correct? Which part? The minuend, but we don't know the minuend. But that means if we take the difference and add the subtrahend, we're going to find the minuend. So all we have to do to find his brother's points is take the number that Trent earned, add how many fewer points he made to get the total. So that means we're going to come to the side and we're going to rewrite this problem up and down. 5,005 plus 2,375. Well, class, 5 plus 5 is what?
10.
Thank you, Colin. Regroup the 1 to the tens place. 7, now we add the tens place. But we start with what we knew. 0 plus 7 is what?
7.
Plus 1?
8.
Zari, please listen to the question. 0 plus 7 is what?
7.
Plus our regroup number 1 is?
8.
8. Now we add the hundredths. 0 plus 3 is?
3.
Bring down our comma because it's always going to line up in addition and subtraction. 5 plus 2 is?
7.
So that means 5,005 plus 273 is 5,005 points plus 2,375 points equals 7,380 points. So this is a multi-step problem. What they should have done, and probably what they meant to do to make it subtraction, was to say his brother earned 2,375 fewer points than Trent. Because then we would have had to subtract this instead of add it, but they didn't. So does everybody see how there were 2 points? Step 1 was to figure out how many total points Trent had. Step 2 was to add this to the total. And there's our number sentence. 5,005 plus 2,375 equals 7,380 points. Okay, go ahead and close your books.